So what's the deal with the new and improved Nectar Premier Hybrid? Is it as good as they say it is? How does it feel? Is it worth the price? You've got questions and I've got answers in this video. Hey everybody, I'm JD with CNET. Hopefully you're doing well. And like the title implies, we are going to be covering the 5 major things that you should know about the new and improved Nectar Premier Hybrid. Full disclosure, this is probably my favorite Nectar bed I've ever tested and reviewed. And I've been trying them out for a little over 6 years now. So if you get something out of today's video, drop a like on it and always feel free to subscribe to our channel for a lot more. Also keep in mind that we did receive this Nectar bed for completely free from the brand to review. But if you order it online, the first main thing that you should know about this bed is the policy set it's going to be backed by. And it's actually really generous stuff. The bed ships to you for completely free inside of a big box. It's basically like a giant logo. I don't think you're going to mistake it for anything else other than your new Nectar. Once it's in your possession, you get around 365 nights to try it out. So it's a full year-long trial period. Great thing to have in your bed. If you try it out and find after the first month you want to send it back, you can do so and get completely free returns, get a full cash refund. That's awesome. But if you want to keep it, it is backed by a forever warranty. And we'll try to link some more helpful details regarding Nectar's policy set down below in the description box. There's a lot to know in that regard. Now with the policies out of the way, the second thing that you should know about the Premier Hybrid is obviously its new design. So it looks a heck of a lot different than the previous rendition of Nectar Premier Hybrid. It's still a hybrid mattress that features coils on the bottom for support, which is great for handling bigger body types long term. The coils on this new model are reinforced along the edges. There's actually 2 rows of coils on the sides that are comprised of a thicker gauge steel to provide the bed with some really sturdy edges. On top of those coils, you have a responsive transition layer that has a slight zone support feature to help keep your back more aligned at night on the bed. And then on top for the bed's main comfort layer, you have around 2 inches of a therapeutic memory foam. And it basically looks like a copper infused memory foam or something like that. Wrapping all these elements up is a nice cooling cover. We'll talk about how this bed fares in terms of temperature regulation later on, but this exterior cover helps make the bed look really premium and nice. I think this mattress looks a cut above a lot of others offered within the online space these days. When you take a closer look at the Nectar Premier Hybrid, I think you can tell that the brand took their time with this bed's design. It's even showcased right down to the handles on the sides being kind of elastic and stretchy. Most handles on beds are kind of rigid and they kind of tear easy if you're going to be moving them around. They're more decorative for lack of a better term. Here you can really utilize those handles and move your bed around pretty effortlessly. I know I'm rambling, I'm just a big fan of this new Nectar launch, but the third thing that you should know about the Premier Hybrid from Nectar is obviously its mattress feel. So we would classify this bed to have more of a dense memory foam sensation. When you hop on the bed, you're gonna probably find it to be firm at first, but then that memory foam is gonna slowly carve around the shape of your body as you sink into it, offering somewhat of a cradling sensation. And it's really nice for those of us who like to hang out in one main sleeping position, but if you're a combination sleeper, you could find it to be kind of restrictive if you like to move around on your mattress. That said, I will say that this new memory foam feel that's found on these new Nectars is slightly more responsive than previous runs of Nectar beds. Some were very dense and viscous, but here I think you're going to be able to move around on the Premier Hybrid pretty easily. And hey, if you're a big fan of memory foam, definitely box checked in that regard. Firmness wise, this bed is a flat medium give or take on our scale. It's actually the most medium feeling mattress out of the entire new Nectar launch. If you're a little bit heavier, you could sink into this bed and find it to be just shy of a medium, maybe between that and a medium soft. But I think the Premier Hybrid offers a really nice balance of support that you get from the coils on the bottom and cushion and pressure relief from the memory foam layer on top. So, best of both worlds in that regard. In the past, Nectar as a brand released mattresses that were, on the much firmer end of the spectrum. Memory foam kind of goes hand in hand with a firmer style of sleeping surface given the nature of the material. But with this new Nectar launch, they introduced 2 really soft Nectar beds that are now their top tier options, dubbed the Nectar Luxes. So definitely check those out if you're into memory foam, but you also want something that's really nice for side sleepers. If you want something that's firmer than a medium in terms of your new Nectar bed, I definitely consider the Classics. Those are their baseline options. They're the most affordable and firm Nectar beds. The fourth thing that you should know are basically some elements for couples to consider. So edge support, motion isolation, and temperature regulation. The edge support on this bed, like I kind of implied earlier, is great due to the reinforced coils that run along the bed's, sides. You're not going to be experiencing any sort of a roll-off sensation, and they're going to help to keep you placed firmly along the edges of this mattress. The motion isolation on this mattress is also great. That top layer of memory foam helps to deaden and absorb plenty of cross-mattress motion. I doubt that if your partner is a light sleeper, they're going to be jostled awake by your nightly movements on this bed. In terms of temperature regulation, we would classify the Premier Hybrid from Nectar to pretty much sleep temperature neutral across the board. Though it's advertised to have a cool to the touch cover, I doubt you're going to feel much of it once you slap a big heavy sheet set and comforter on this thing. It'll probably remain right in the middle at that temperature neutral sweet spot for you and your partner. But if you and your partner are especially hot sleepers, I definitely consider checking out the Nectar Luxe collection, as those beds have the most amount of cooling going on. They're going to be more expensive than the Premier Hybrid, but they could be worth it if you and your partner like to sleep on the cooler side. Speaking of that, the fifth thing that you got to know about the Premier Hybrid is its price point. And while you may think this mattress is really expensive given the level of quality that this bed is at, I'm happy to say that it's actually at a pretty decent value online. So a queen size Nectar Premier Hybrid is currently going for around the $1,100 mark after discount for the queen size. That's pretty great for a bed like this. For reference, the Brooklyn Bedding Signature is right around that range, and that's also a really accommodating hybrid mattress that we commonly recommend to people who, ask us, which bed should I get? We usually say that one. If you're into memory foam and you also want plenty of support from your bed, I definitely recommend checking out the Nectar Premier Hybrid these days. We'll try to link any sorts of discounts that we can find for you on this bed down below in the description box. But all in all, I'm really pleased, as you can clearly tell, with this new Nectar redesign. I think that the Premier Hybrid is actually my favorite one out of the lot. I think it just provides the perfect balance of support and comfort when it comes to my preference of memory foam beds. But let's give you a short and sweet final verdict on who I ultimately see this bed working out best for. I'd say look into it if you're into a supportive hybrid bed with a memory foam feel, more of a dense viscous one, and you want something that's around a medium give or take and also has a zone support feature for helping keep your back more aligned on a nightly basis. It's a great bed that's worth your consideration, especially for the price. But that's just my take on the subject. What's yours? Would you like to try this bed out for yourself? Have you tried out another rendition of Nectar Premier from past days? Write us down below in the comments and let us know your experience with this bed. If you got something out of today's video, of course drop a like on it, and always consider subscribing to CNET Home for so much more. Hit the description box for more information related to this bed, including any discounts we can find for you on it. But that's going to sum it up for today's review. I'm JD with CNET, and like always, we'll see you in the next one.